Hi. Do not mind me.
An active volcano detected nearby.
That's the least of my problems.
Warning, maximum depth reached. Hull damage imminent.
Not good. Come at me! Yeah, not this time. I'm ready. That, ladies and gentlemen, perimeter defense. Gonna lead to stuff like that from never happening again. Ugh. I'm just gonna have to free dive it. Yeah! Ouch! Maybe that was a bad idea.
This site is one of some significance. Its data will assist us on our quest.
Shut up, Alan. More important things. Gathering diamonds. Out of diamonds. Need diamonds. Whoa! Hey! I've seen enough for now. Bye. Never come back here again. 5 health. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, man. Why do diamonds have to be so hard to find? The things you'll have to do, man. Okay, after much trouble and strife, I can finally upgrade to a level 2. Oh. The day I have to swim without the protection of another... whatever. So, I came to Marguerite's place because I wanted to finish up her story, because there was a little bit more to it after getting all the vegetables. Thought I'd share that with you now. Collected these logs, telling of how she got here in the first place.
There I was, 500 meters below sea level. Chunks of the sea base sank around me. One hand gripped the monster's scales. The other was clamped around the shard of metal I'd lodged into her eye socket. A Reaper. Wounded, maybe, but still deadly. I'd already taken out one eye. I damn near carved out the other. We were headed for the void at the crater's edge. Blinded, she was spiraling deeper. I had a choice. Hold on, or let go. I clung for dear life as she took us deeper. I had 1 minute of air in the tank. Back then, I could go another 3 with what I had in my lungs. So I had 4 minutes to kill the Reaper, minus a few to get back to the surface. It ain't that I like killing folk. It's just sometimes what you need is on the inside of someone else's ribcage. I killed that beautiful, terrifying creature, and I made for the surface. When I caught my breath, I realized we'd come further than I thought. I was surrounded by watery void, just me and ocean. Nothing else.
And here we go, log 2.
That far out to sea, swimming back for land wasn't an option. I'd die from exhaustion long before I made it to shore. All I could do was survive long enough to wash up somewhere. I felt a suction, and suddenly, there were vast jaws rising out of the water towards me. It had taken hours for the Reaper's corpse to float to the surface. Using the knife, I clambered up her flank and got a perch on top. I figured she'd float for a few days at least, enough for me to catch my breath. But would she sink before or after I died of thirst? I had a knife, a repair tool, and 3 liters of water. At least I wasn't gonna die of exhaustion. Now, those Reapers, they're practically all muscle, but there's some fat in there. I was able to keep warm and drink the water. And I didn't have much, but I had that repair tool, so I had a spark. It took a week to light that first fire. And I know more about the burning properties of Reaper fat than I ever cared to. I had to ration fires, but as they burned, I could smoke meat that I carved out of the beast's rib cage.
And the final log.
A fortnight into our voyage, I was more or less living inside the creature's rib cage. It meant shelter, and it meant food. The flesh was starting to rot. The stench was unlike anything I'd ever smelled. As we floated, the temperature dropped, and the rotten meat began to stiffen and freeze. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the Reaper began to lose buoyancy. We sank a little each day. My sanctuary was becoming my tomb, and I was at the mercy of the current and the winds. Until one day, I saw a smattering of penguins in the distance. Swimming birds usually mean solid land of some kind. I was lucky. The winds followed their path. Hours later, I saw a blessed sight. An unmoving cloud sitting upon the water. Land. It renewed my spirit as I watched the land get closer and closer. The Reaper slowly sank, but I was no longer worried. When the Reaper finally sank below the water, I was close enough to lazily swim my way to shore. I made a note to come back for the Reaper's skull. I didn't ride the beast for 3 weeks to have no proof. Land never felt so good, even in this Arctic hell.
So yeah, that's Marguerite's story. If you played the first game, you'll know all about her. She as well crash landed with the Degassi crew. They were some of the first people. They were probably the first people to ever land on 4546B. And the story alone is mad when you think about it. Floating for 3 weeks on a dead Reaper, the fact she survived that at all is crazy. But whilst explaining how she got here, the game also fails to explain a rather serious plot hole. One that is basically far more severe than anything else with Marguerite's story. That being, how did she survive? How is she still alive despite being infected with the Kara bacterium? Don't know. Like, for context, as the game's been going on, the Kara bacterium was an extremely deadly disease, according to the game, killed over 140 billion individuals, and yet somehow she's still alive, despite being infected more than 10 years ago, I should say. She crash-landed more than 10 years before the first game, and the first known cure was discovered, so how is she even alive? It's never explained as far as we know. The only logic I can really come up with is that because of Marguerite's badassery, she basically just told Kara no. And that was that. Okay. I've come now to check out Outpost Zero. See what's in there. Get some more answers. Hi. It's hilarious to me that you can scan a snowman to get the blueprint. Like, why? Like, Robin, you're supposed to be a scientist. Are you telling me you don't know how to build a snowman? Okay. Let's see what we can get here. How many do you need? Need 4. Jeez. Keep looking around, shall we? Scannable objects? Oh. Vending machine. I couldn't possibly live without snacks. This is what we really want though. This will actually be useful. Because my water supply has been rather, shall we say, inconsistent. Right. Now I want to try something. So I never actually realised you could go in here before, but you can. Yeah, grab that. And that. Ooh. Some good stuff in here. How did I never know this was all in here? We've got so many beacons now, man. Ugh. Good thing I'm in here. Seems like there's some bad weather outside. Lantern fruit. Oh, am I still scanning that tree? How'd I do that? Anyway. Just gonna grab a couple of those.
Was this Sam's space? What was she doing all the way out here?
Let's find out, shall we?
I don't think I have a choice. I have to neutralize the bacteria myself. I'm a little nervous. Okay, terrified. But this thing is a death sentence. We shouldn't be messing around with it. I'm no biologist, I know. So does everyone else here. I haven't spoken to Danny since we fought about it. Zeta said she'd handle it and then didn't. Lil practically begged me to drop it. This is completely beyond the scope of your work. You have to stop before you jeopardize your standing with the company. I don't want good standing with a transgov that would do this. Robin tried to warn me. Maybe she was right, and Altera really is unfixable. Maybe I deserve better than this. We all do. I've synthesized the antibacterial agent. I know my biochem at least well enough to do that much. I've stashed some away in one of the Pengling research caves, southeast of the Leviathan. That was probably the easy part. Now I just have to carry out the plan. Focus, be brave, worry about what happens next after the threat is neutralized. They're going to know it was me. If they send me home, when they send me home, where the ice isn't 20 feet thick, I can get my Augie bun back. We can cuddle under a nice warm blanket. Things with Robin will thaw out. They always do. Besides, I think she'll respect this. And then, maybe I'll start my own research outfit with an awesome team. I'd love to work on prosthetics again. Help people find peace and ease in their bodies. No more cold. No more spine. Nothing that can be misused. All right. Now's my time. I've got this.